The following was recorded in front of a live studio audience at the Studio 21 Podcast Café.
Welcome to this episode of Pit Life BBQ. Gather around the pit with your hosts, Johnnie Mags and Messy Mike. Let's talk barbecue.
What's up, everybody? Coming to you live from the Studio 21 Podcast Cafe in steamy Salem, New Hampshire.
Steamy.
It's the Pit Life BBQ podcast where we talk everything barbecue and a lot of other topics you normally talk around the pit. As always, I'm joined by Messy Mike.
Hello.
Hi, buddy.
How are you?
Good. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Barbecue,
I'm excited.
Pizza.
Yep. That's why I wore, so I didn't have a
pizza.
one bite.
One bite.
Everybody knows the rules shirt, but I did wear a Barstool shirt, so it's the closest thing I could get to pizza.
Barbecue
right now.
and pizza. Oh, everything that makes life worth living.
Yep.
Right there.
And a Smokenator.
The Smokenator.
Yep.
That's an added plus.
Yep.
We're going to find out about that.
And someone to the right of me.
Yes.
Mic Stanfield from BBQ, which is a barbecue competition team. And he was the one that brought in the kettle pizza and the Smokenator. What's going on?
Not much. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Thanks for coming on, making some time for us. This is great.
Nice drive?
A little warm in here.
It is.
All these lights.
I know. I always have the same problem. That's why I basically came in almost naked today. Who knows if I'm wearing shorts
Thanks
down
for
there.
the
One thing. So you're a barbecue competition team.
Yes, me and my wife, Kim.
Okay, and how many competitions do you roughly do a year?
Well, we average between 10 and 15. 10 and 15. We'd like to get up to more, but for stupid reasons like falling off your camper, breaking ribs, stuff like that kind of hinders us from competition.
Yep. But your wife did take the reins and finish the competition.
Actually, on that one, yes, she did. I was in this past competition was Mohegan Sun. I fell off my camper and broke a couple ribs, fractured a couple ribs, and I was in the hospital. And I told her, I said, "Look, we've got all that food. Everything's prepped. You know what to do. You need to get out there and do it." Mm-hmm. So with her help from the barbecue community, she was able to pull it off. So
that's awesome.
Not last place, so she did pretty good.
That's even better.
That's even better. Yeah.
So she said, "I got this."
She in a couple of places she did a lot better than just me.
Awesome.
And she says hi, by the way.
Oh, hey Kim.
Hi, Kim. And so I was just talking to you earlier. So we also have to get her on the show down the road to talk about the the New England Barbecue Society. So just letting you know. All right, Kim, if you're listening.
I thought it was the Northeast Barbecue Society.
Northeast New England.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is now the
It's
Northeast.
NEBS.
Yeah, Northeast Barbecue
NEBS.
Society.
I know, but
NEBS.org.
NEBS.org.
Yep.
All right.
And so what type of competitions? Are they KCBS? Are they
KCBS and some people call them grilling competitions, but it's backyard barbecue. So as an example, Brookline, New Hampshire, we've got that coming up. It's a 4-category on Saturday. The event organizer decides what they want to cook. In most cases, it's usually like a hamburger, pizza, chicken wings, and sometimes a surprise. Like one year they gave everyone a turkey, asked us to cook it.
So do you know what you're cooking, or you don't know until you get there?
For the most part, yes. It's in a cook's packet. Anytime you sign up for competition, you get what's called a cook's packet. Mm-hmm. It tells you everything that you need to do as far as on site, but it also tells you the 4 categories you're cooking.
Okay.
Like KCBS, everyone knows it's always the same 4 categories. It's always chicken, it's always ribs, it's always pork butt or pulled pork, or pork butt presented in whatever way, and brisket. For NEBS, it's more of a whatever the organizer wants. I mean, the organizer can say seafood or define that as shrimp or steak or, in this case, pizza, which we'll get into that in a little bit. But so it's actually, if you like to cook, if you like sitting around the campfire all day and all night long, NEBS is actually a great organization to get involved with for the 4 categories and also what's called tailgate, which is usually always, or not always, but it's up to the organizer, but it's usually always 2 categories, ribs and chicken wings. That's actually going to be at the Brookline, New Hampshire competition. That's on Sunday. So at 12 o'clock, you turn in your, I think it's the chicken wings, and then at 12:30, you turn in your ribs. So Anybody can get in on that.
So the Middleborough one years ago, where I met you, that was a tailgater competition.
Right.
Okay.
That's tailgate, and actually that's coming up here shortly as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Crazy Days. So it's the first weekend of August.
No, that was fun. That was a blast.
Yeah.
And so before we get into this stuff, you also you and a couple of other competition teams. Well, I think you started it with your wife, but it's called Hunger Smoked.
Hunger Smoked. Basically, it's Hunger Smoked delivering hope through barbecue. And what we do is over the holidays, either Christmas or New Year's, we want to expand that to Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. Goal right now is feeding up to 1,000 people, but we get together. It's me, it's some friends, it's some competition, it's some restaurateurs, it's a couple nonprofit organizations also get in on it. We just cook barbecue and we give them a full meal. We give them pulled pork, beans, coleslaw. I've got the cookie brigade, which actually makes cookies. So each meal comes with 2 homemade cookies. We take that to a homeless shelter, drop it off, and they serve it on New Year's or Christmas or whichever day they agree to. What we'd like to do is we'd like to expand that to, like I said, 1,000 people, 300, Christmas, Thanksgiving, and New Year's. Right now we're at one holiday, and we're cooking about between 300 and 400 meals. So.
Wow. That is awesome.
That is great.
And where can you go donate?
If you there's I'd have to check it again, but I'm pretty sure there is a link on NEBS.org for under donations.
Mm-hmm.
You can either donate to NEBS itself, or there's a section just for Hunger Smoked. It's they are a 501c3, so you can claim this on your taxes if that's what you're interested in. But just donate to them, and when we need the money, we go say, okay, we're going to cook for 300 people. It's going to cost us just to buy the food $750. Whatever's money is there, we take it out. We go out and buy the food. We cook it. Whatever we need after that, everyone that's there, we either chip in some money or we just go out and buy what we need. So,
All right.
Wow. And I think we might be able to even get that link on our page.
I think we'll be able to. I'm on it, Mike.
Cool. All right.
See, we don't mess around
I
here.
know.
Do you know who you're dealing with?
I do. Special ed.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I love you.
He's unkind.
He's unkind.
Words can be hurtful, John.
Oh,
Well, Kent has a question for
Sure.
you. How's the gun show?
it is fantastic today.
Yeah.
These guys feel money. Do you have anything you want to go over? Do you want me to?
Keep going. I'm
Okay.
just waiting.
Perfect.
Kim had said, commented, Middleborough is August 3rd.
August 3rd, Crazy Days.
The Kids Q make it a family event.
Mm-hmm. Is that in Brookline as well?
yeah, actually, I believe it is. And very important. If you got a family out there, I see two kids out here in the audience. If they want to cook, basically you just show up, you get a category, and it's usually just one category. The kid is in charge of cooking that category by themselves, with the exception of the adult gets to light the grill, and if there's any sharp knives involved, the adult gets to use the knives. Other than that, the kid is, or the child or whatever, is 100% involved in that cook. There's also Core Shriners coming up. I don't know the date on that. Kim will probably say it. But Core Shriners is coming up, and they're actually going to be doing something a little bit different. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but they're going to have they're going to pair a child up with different teams. So, like, we're going to get a child, and we're not going to get one, but it's not going to give them away. But they're going to pair us up with a child, and we're going to help that and guide that child into the cook, and then it's going to be a competition just for the children.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
And Kathy Trainer says the Kids Q are both Brookline and Middleborough.
Okay.
Hashtag Kids Q every Q.
Now, is Kids Q also part of that? I believe I think Joey Machado or someone started it in Australia, like a Kids Q.
I don't know where it actually started. I mean, I've been competing up here for, I don't know, 7-8 years. And I've seen a lot of competitions with the kids, ranging in ages from 6 years old to 16 years old.
Now, if they win, do they get certificates to other?
They do get certificates. Actually, I think last year, again, Kim would have to say this. Last year, year before last, NEBS actually started their own kids Toy of the Year or Team of the Year award. So the kids were actually, they get first, second, and third place for Team of the Year. A couple of years ago, they got little mini Smokey Joe barbecue grills. Last year, they got a little knife set, which was pretty nice.
Cool.
Yeah. Those knives were actually donated by Hammerstall, so they're very nice knives.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kathy says Kids Q Nation is out of Texas.
Okay.
So it could have been with Joe.
Joe Machado, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, so let's talk about
And then Kim also says that NEBS had a Kids Q Team of the Year.
Okay.
Right.
So that's I just absolutely love that. Getting them
Getting the kids involved.
JJ broke his grill in this weekend.
Nice.
His
JJ.
first grill. Had to do. He goes, we have to do the important meat. I go, I don't think a brisket's going to fit on that. He goes, no.
Hot dogs.
Hot dogs. All right, boss,
right
you
there.
got it.
Nice.
There's actually a video of that on your
Yeah.
yeah.
We took a couple
I watched
pictures
that
of
a
him
couple
doing
days ago.
it.
Yeah, it was actually pretty good.
Oh, yeah, he had fun with it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Ken said he'll be out smoking you soon.
Ain't going to be hard to do.
So let's talk about the kettle pizza.
Let's talk about the kettle pizza, that's for sure.
Kettle pizza.
I saw this the first time. Well, obviously, it would have been when I got the kettles, so end of the beginning of the year, January or so.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, then it's, with me, I got to look for all the attachments and gizmos and gadgets, accessorizing.
Yeah, this is your show right here.
Oh, yeah, this is right up my alley, But I had seen this, and this absolutely blew my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get involved with the kettle pizza?
Well, actually, it's the short story of it. Kathy Trainer actually donated, or not donated, but gave us one of hers. She had one that one of the original ones. We used it, loved it, and I mean, it was probably like maybe 5 days later, Kim won one from Kettle Pizza. She called him up, and they started talking. He said, "Well, what do you do?" And he found out that we're actually a barbecue team. So he's like, "Well, do you cook pizzas during the competition?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, we've got to get together." So it was about, I don't know, I think me and George were talking about it today. George Peters is one of the owners. I think it was 6 or 7 years ago that we started with him. Every year, I've gone places. I can't say some of the places because obligated not to, but we've gone to some pretty good conventions with them. Done a couple things that's actually really nice. But kettle pizza, I mean, if you want a pizza and you're in your backyard, you can get this nice $3,000 or $4,000 brick pizza. This one of those round dome pizzas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
you see it. What's that pizza? Bertucci's.
Bertucci's. Brick oven, yeah.
The big brick oven, it's $3,000 or $4,000.
Mm-hmm.
A kettle that you probably have anyways costs $99. The kit, this kit that would go with any kind of a 22-inch or 18, 22, or 26-inch kettle type grill. This fits on one of those three. This with the insert is $100. I think it starts at $149. I don't know. You have to look at the kettlepizza.com website. I don't know their prices. I should. I just don't. But this sits on top of your grill, and then your stone goes right inside the insert. You can see right there at the very front of it. I don't know if you can see it on the webcast yet or not, but on the very front of it, that opening is where your pizza goes in. And it's usually about a 14-inch pizza.
Mm-hmm. So right
there,
here where the red is.
Yeah, if you go on kettlepizza.com, you see some really nice videos out there. I mean, there's people in the community that actually will get down there with a camera and do nice slow-mo pictures of the fire that just rolls right over the top.
Right. I've
nice.
seen those on YouTube.
Oh, man.
It's looking right in. It just comes up the top. It's like, oh my God.
So if you want a flame kissed pizza, this will absolutely do that for you. But the thing about this is, I mean, your grill with just regular charcoal with one little chimney full of charcoal, it's going to get around 450, 500 degrees. I mean, it'll cook a pizza, but just by that, you can cook a pizza on any kind of hot, heated surface. So you don't need this, but this makes it that much easier because this is going to get your grill up to very easily without thinking about it 600 degrees. And with a little bit of wood and placement, you can get it up to 900 to 1,000 degrees.
And that's simply by the design of it.
Right.
Almost like you throw the load of chimney of coal in the middle on the kettle. Mm-hmm. And like you were saying, you can get it to 450.
Right.
You buy the vortex insects, you're up over 600.
Right.
Like that. It's like a concentrated heat.
Right. Now this is okay. So let's talk about that vortex for a second. That concentrated heat is right in the dead center of your grill. So you're cooking on the outside. What this is actually doing is it's building that fire in two places, or building the heat up in two places. So it's building the heat up towards the back of where your fire is, and then right over the top. If you look at the dynamics, what happens when you burn a pizza? Why did you burn your pizza? Well, your stone's too hot. Not only that, you're looking inside the grill or inside the oven or grill or whatever, and you're looking at the top, and the top's just not brown yet. So let's give it a little longer. Top's just not brown. What's happening is that stone is way too hot, and there's not enough heat over the top of it. So what you're looking for is you want a cold surface, not cold, but about 100-degree difference between bottom and top. You want your top hotter because the top of your pizza actually cooks slower. Okay, so the bottom will cook fast. So if in this case you're sitting around 600 degrees at the top of your pizza, your stone's around 500. So as it's slowly cooking that dough and making it nice and crispy, not burnt, crispy, you're browning the top of it, and you're seeing that cheese just bubble up and everything. It's just, I'm
dying over here. Let's take a quick little break, and we'll be right back.
Attention barbecue fans. If you're hankering for some meat when you're on the go, I'd like you to try Two Guys Beef Jerky. It's smokehouse cilantro beef jerky with fresh cilantro and a classic blend of spices and flavors. This smokehouse cilantro jerky will quickly become one of your favorites. One bite of this amazing jerky and you'll be hooked. A 3-ounce bag sells for $8 and will sell you 3 bags for just $19.98. That's a 20% savings, but that's not all. For our Pit Life BBQ listeners out there, we've got a special just for you. We'll throw in a bag of our bacon jerky free. This is fiery, sriracha-style bacon jerky, and it's addictive, and it's absolutely free. 3 bags of beef jerky and a bag of bacon jerky for just $19.98. That's a $12 savings right there, and that's still not all. Order now and put BBQ as your coupon code, and we'll even pick up the shipping. Go to twoguys.com/jerky. That's the number 2guys.com/jerky. Put 3 beef jerkies in your cart and put the coupon code BBQ and we'll automatically include a free bacon jerky and cover the shipping costs. 2guys.com/jerky. That's the number 2guys.com/jerky. 3 bags of the best beef jerky you ever tasted. It's 1 bag of the addictive bacon jerky and free shipping on the whole order. Order today because this offer expires soon. 2guys.com/jerky.
You okay?
Yeah. And we are back.
Was it vodka or water?
Water. It's not good to cough.
All right, so it really cooks from the top down.
Mm-hmm. And you could probably, you could even do chicken wings in this thing.
I've actually cooked open-faced lobster sandwiches. So basically, it's just a piece of French bread with a light spreading of pesto, and then on top of that, you put your lobster on top of that, and then around that, you're going to put your fresh mozzarella. Okay, and then as soon as that mozzarella melts down, you take just a small sliver of American cheese and lay over the top of that to mix in there with it. Sprinkle some basil on that. It's absolutely phenomenal.
So it almost doubles as what the hell do they call it? The like a salamander or a beefer.
Almost, yes.
Equipment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can also actually there's multiple things you can do this. You can spend as little or as much as you want to. I think their ultimate kit, the largest kit that they have, actually comes with a metal plate that goes over the top. So you got your ring that's about like this, like this, and your pizza's cooking right here, or your cooking surface is here. To baffle that heat, there's a metal plate that you can stick on top of that. It just helps to keep the heat right over the top of the pizza. Well, you take the lid off, all that heat's still right here, and you can cook on top of it.
Cook on top.
Oh, wow.
That's around
cool.
700-800 degrees. It'll cook a steak like that.
Oh, wow.
So nice sear on that steak.
Huh. And this fits all three sizes.
It fits the 18,
Yep.
the 22,
And the
22, and then there's an insert that you can get to fit on the 26.
Okay. Wow. Okay. You could do nachos in there. There's so much other things that you could do. That's
You can actually
excellent.
bread. You got that high heat bread that you
Yeah.
want to cook. This will cook that.
That'll
high
do
heat
it
bread.
too.
Yeah. So there are a lot of other things. And in fact, if you buy a Kettle Pizza, you become a member of the Kettle Pizza community. And there are recipes that people kick back and forth. There's a gentleman on there also. His name is Matt Franton. He'll do videos. Sorry, Matt, I can't remember the name of your team there. But he does videos and does great videos. He's got great recipes as well. So you get that in with it.
So when you go to the competitions that have the pizza categories, how many of these do you see now?
Our first year, we were the only ones, and it's actually it's. I was just thinking about this today. Our first year competing with this, our first competition, we had a pizza category, and you get 30 minutes roughly between categories. With this, I can cook a pizza in 10 minutes now instead of 20 minutes. So before I could cook one pizza, now I got 3. Well, the first one, I cooked the pizza. It's a little crooked. I thought, all right, just set that aside. Don't nobody touch it. I'm going to cook this one because I like the shape. I like the way the ingredients are. We're going to go with this. Okay. So I stuck it in there. I'm sitting there cooking and everything. I went to doing a little adjustment, and the pizza slid off towards the back into the fire. I said, okay, we're going to use that one now. And we got first place.
Wow.
And won grand champion that year.
Oh, nice.
So,
Nice.
so for our first competition using this, we got our grand champion of it. So we was quite pleased with the product.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. And they're local too.
They're local. Right now they're in North Andover. They are moving up just over the line into New Hampshire here.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Plus, actually, most of the whole product is made in America. I think, with the exception of maybe the screws, but everything else is made in America. And because of that, they've gotten a lot of recognition. Walmart made in America. They got them in because of that. In a couple weeks, there's going to be a national. I don't know. It's going to be announced on their website here shortly, but it's actually a made in America thing that's going to be going on in Washington. So if you like made in America products, this is right up your alley.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but great things about it.
Yeah.
So the other question would be, how long does a pizza take in it?
Okay, so at 600 degrees, a 14-inch pizza at about 2 inches, I can cook it in about 6-7 minutes.
Oh, wow.
You crank that up to 900 degrees, and you're going to have a pizza in about 40 seconds to 2 minutes. Wow. So depending on the thickness. So now, okay, so here's a really great thing. I want to say this. We had 2 of these at our house set up. I don't know, Super Bowl 3 years ago, I believe. I don't know exactly what it was. It's one of those years that Patriots weren't there, so it's a couple years ago.
Weren't there?
Weren't there.
Okay.
I won't have a party at my house if the Patriots are
Because
playing.
it's tough to figure out which year they weren't there.
Right. So it was a few years ago. Anyways, so we had
Wait for the comments now.
had a party at our house, and what I did is I went out and got a whole bunch of ingredients and a whole bunch of dough balls, and I cut those dough balls into half, and I showed everyone at the party how to make their own little small pizza, and they put their own ingredients on there, and after they did it, I walked out and I cooked it. So the pizzas, I had the grill going about 550, 600. Those little small pizzas were taking about 4 minutes. So each person got to actually do their own pizza. It's great for kids' party.
Oh, definitely.
The kids, because it doesn't matter. I mean, it's an what's the word for it? Not artisanal pizzas, where it doesn't matter what it looks like. What matters is what it tastes like.
So. Oh,
Wow.
like you said, this is awesome.
So the first time you used it, did you have any problem with like dough sticking to it?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. I mean, with any pizza, one thing is a little bit of prep time is everything. If you're going to be cooking pizza on a stove, I recommend you use what's called semolina. It's a fine corn grain.
Okay.
It's kind of like what's that
Cornmeal.
Cornmeal, but it's finer.
Okay.
Just throw a little cornmeal on there. Put some on underneath your dough. If the pizza slides on the peel, it's going to slide into the oven, okay, or onto the grill or onto your cooking surface. So that's what you want to do is when you're cooking, you throw semolina on your board, you throw your dough down. The pizza will only take as much semolina as it needs. It won't take too much. So if you put 2 inches of semolina on your board and you make your pizza, when you're done, you're going to have 2 inches and a 1/16th. Missing, or a 1/16th of it missing, and that's on your dough, and that just gives it a nice smooth surface to slide on it, and then that crisps up and gives you that nice little crispy, crunchy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. But you also have something else that's catching my attention.
They also have what's called a Smokenator, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a device that sits off to the side of your grill. You're going to put a little bit of charcoal in there. You're going to put some water in the pan, and then you're going to put your meat on the other side. And so that's going to give you just a little bit of heat, or enough heat to cook it, obviously. And you can throw your wood chunks on top of that charcoal. Depending on how fast you want to cook it or how slow you want to cook it, you just regulate that by the number of chunks of charcoal that you have lit inside, and you just keep making sure you add a little bit at a time, add a little bit of wood at a time. It'll really, it does a number on the turkey.
Oh, that's because I seen the backside it has it.
Yeah.
That's a chicken.
So.
I'm just checking.
Or a very small turkey.
Or a very small turkey. See?
So I actually did. That's the first thing I did was I tried to do a turkey on this. Mm-hmm. My first attempt came out dark, but that was my fault because I kept adding the wood.
Yeah.
And not just charcoal, so I over-smoked it. Mm-hmm. But that was on the outside. What came in the inside with this nice juicy meat. So if you take the skin off, it was actually it was pretty good still. So
now, do you brine your turkeys first?
I do. It and here's the thing. Different people will tell you different things. Why do you brine? Everything that goes in the brine, the only thing that goes in the brine that actually gets in the turkey is the salt. Mm-hmm. But what's left on the outside is all your flavor. And that's generally your first bite. So if you're trying to layer your flavors, you're better off just making a salt brine and then adding those flavors towards the end. So
good to know. Good tip.
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, I'm all excited now. I love my gadgets.
Mm-hmm. Now, so what's the benefit of using that
indirect heat?
Okay.
You can use so again. In every single thing that you get, from Kettle Pizza or any other company that goes on a grill, okay, all it does is make things easier. This makes it easier to smoke your meats, okay. It's a great product. It does exactly what it says it's going to do for you. With a little practice, a little bit of patience, it's a great product. So indirect heat. Everything's off to the side. You've got a little baffle between the heat and what you're cooking, so you're not actually burning that piece of meat that's sitting right there next to your fire. You've got a shield between it. Mm-hmm. Plus, you're adding a little bit of moisture into it with the water pan. So with those two things, it just it makes your smoking easier. It makes your cooking easier, and
so it's like a labor saver.
Exactly.
Nice. Yeah. Huh.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Nice. And I won't say anything yet. So also, why did you get into the competition circuit?
So when I grew up in Memphis, Tennessee, I used to go to barbecue competitions a lot with friends. Sitting around, in Memphis, when you get invited over to someone's house in Memphis for a barbecue, they're not asking you to come over at 4:30, eat and leave. They want you there at 10 o'clock in the morning. You're throwing horseshoes. You've got a pig out there. You've got pretty big meats out on the grill. It's an all day event. When I came up here, that the events were still there, but they weren't quite the same. I kept telling my wife, it's not the same as in the South. The barbecue up here, it's not the same. Mm-hmm. And the reason it's not the same is because the fellowship is there, but it's not the same as what it is in the South. Where you're sitting at your house, there's a pig out back, and next thing you know, someone's driving down the street that barely knows you. They'll stop in, and next thing you know, they're eating with you.
Yeah.
So telling that to Kim, I said, let's go to a couple of competitions just to let me show you what they're like. We met a lot of great people the first year that we just drove around and hit a couple competitions. We decided to become a judge. We got our judges' certificates, I think, in 2011, if I'm not mistaken.
And that's if you're going to do competitions, become a judge first.
It's a good thing, so you get an idea of what's going to be out there. I mean, you don't have to. I can guarantee you this: the person that says that my barbecue is the best barbecue in the world, everyone at a competition says the exact same thing. The only difference between your barbecue and my barbecue is 6 people.
Yep.
And those 6 people determine who the best is. And it's actually 6 per category per table. So if there's let's say I'm not good at math, but 18 people, there's 3 tables. Okay, so 18 teams will turn in their barbecue. 6 teams will go to this table, 6 will go to this, and 6 will go to this. And whatever this table judges is different from what this table judges. The scoring is going to be so different. So sometimes you get lucky on a table, sometimes you get not so lucky. But I mean, if you practice at barbecue, you're going to become a lot better than someone that doesn't. I'm one of those people that doesn't really practice that much. I practice drinking. I don't practice cooking.
Hence the fall down in the RV.
No alcohol involved.
Okay. But your stuff. I mean, I've had some of your. You've cooked at some of the NEBS events, and I mean, your stuff's awesome.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
And I thought you were a chef, but
no, I just got chef tools.
We're all chefs in our own mind.
But yeah, I mean, I met that was the first thing you said to me at the Middleborough competition. You said, your stuff could be the best, but
it's 6 people determine.
Yep.
You run into that old table of death, they call it. It's like, oh my God.
Table of angel, table of death. I mean, but even I don't care who you are. If you practice at it and you do it every single weekend and you're consistent in your cook, consistency will win overall everywhere. A perfect example of that. We've come in 6th place in every single category, but still won GC. The reason is, whoever got 1st through 5th may have gotten one category that they're sitting out in 30th, or 20th or whatever, but you're right there in the middle every single time. So consistency matters. So you have to know what you're doing as far as your cook times, your process and everything.
Do you follow Travis Clark at all?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, he does Clark Crew. He's a barbecue competition team.
Okay.
He said he overslept a couple weeks ago for a competition, right? He cooked a brisket in 3 hours.
Yeah, right.
Grand champion.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's insane.
Oh, this is the one you were telling me. You wound up cooking at like 500 degrees.
Yep. 500 degrees, 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Well, you think about it. When that brisket's done, he's not cooking it and holding it for 7 hours to feed his friends. He's cooking it, getting it prepped, and serving 6 people. Right then.
Away.
Yeah.
That brisket's going to come out. It's going to be nice and hot. It's still going to have all of its juices. It hasn't had time to bleed out. So you can cook briskets in 3 hours. But the one that the people say, "Oh man, I had your brisket that you cooked the other day." It's like 5 days later, and it was so juicy. Well, that's because, in my opinion, could be wrong, but it's because you take the time. You cooked it low and slow, and the juices actually stay in there. You cook it hot, and the juices are going to go flying out.
Yep. So, go ahead, quick.
No, you. Go ahead.
How many people are watching us right now?
It doesn't even say.
Okay. Can we?
Yep, we can go ahead and do that. That's great.
Because we are going to give these away too.
Yeah.
We're just trying to figure out how to do that.
Okay.
So, do we do whoever's watching right now, or?
However you want to do it. I don't know. You want to put a post up or something? We can do that too. This kind of jumped on it.
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and give it to the viewers that, over the next week and give the time for people to comment. And let's say that, we'll pick a random time after the show's over, and whoever hits a like right at that time gets it.
Okay.
So you might get a bunch of likes out of that.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, so take the week, let it run.
Yep.
And then like leave a comment on
There you go. Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You know, is there a way to do like a randomizer? Do you know, Ed?
What you could do, Johnny, is see how many people comment on
Yeah.
it, you know, and keep track of that in the order they comment,
Okay.
right? And then if it's, 7,464, you can go right online and generate a random number,
1,
match it
0
up
to,
to, Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna let it run all week. Please comment on the video, and
They will be brand new. They won't be opened.
yeah,
So-
they're all sealed up, ready to
Yep.
go.
and it has to be domestic shipping.
Domestic shipping.
If you're
yes.
overseas and you would, you win it, then we got to figure out something with the shipping because that's expensive.
Yeah.
If you're local, you can pick it up. If not, you were saying,
Yeah. We'll figure out a way to get it to everybody.
Yeah.
Get it to
Okay.
whoever
So,
wins it.
yep.
So,
perfect.
Well, Mick, thank you very
Yeah,
much for joining
pleasure.
us.
Thank
I
you very
appreciate
much.
it. Appreciate you
And
having me.
where can people find your social media?
Facebook, BBQ'd is BOO space QUED. I think we have a Twitter. My wife does all that stuff. Twitter tweets. What's that other one?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah, she does all that stuff. I just know BBQ'd on Facebook.
All right. All right.
Cool. And when's your next comp?
Week after next, maybe, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. She knows that too. I don't keep
We
that
should have had the
stuff.
both of you on at the same time.
I'll be honest. My wife is the core part of the team. I show up, I get the meats ready, I throw the meats on, and then I walk around and talk to everybody and have a drink with them. So,
I think,
but yeah, she's the strong one of the whole team. So,
none of us will be here without him. So
right.
Yeah. And also I've seen a few of the pizzas on this, but New England Pitmasters, those guys do a lot of pizzas. So check their page out for some of the for the pizza videos. I know Chris does a bunch, and they came out incredible. But that's it for this week, folks. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. You can catch the video on Facebook and YouTube. Catch the audio on iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and other podcast catchers. On social media, find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Pit Life BBQ. We'd love to hear from you. Please send your questions and comments to pitlifebbqpodcast@gmail.com. And always, please subscribe, like, rate, and review. Hit that share button. Spread the word. We appreciate you. Like I said, check out New England Pitmasters on some of their guys doing pizza reviews on their site, too. Great stuff there. And once again, Mick, thank you for joining us.
thank you.
And
Have a good 4th too.
You as well.
yeah,
You
happy
be
4th of
safe.
July to
Yeah.
everybody. And until next week, keep the smoke rolling.
The views and opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, or callers of this program do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Studio 21 Podcast Café, the United Podcast Network, its partners, or affiliates.